Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Change Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Kris Ashley. I'm really excited for my guest today. Missy has been a friend since high school. We were really, really close friends in high school, and we're 40 this year, which is crazy. So a lot of history, and I've said this about my college friends, but apparently it's true about some of my high school friends. It's so cool that we've wound up on similar paths. There's like so many trajectories people can go, and people are always growing and evolving and growing apart and growing back together. And it's just really cool when someone is into the same things as you know, a couple decades later, and you get to kind of revisit all that and get really excited. So I'm really excited to have Missy here. She's got a lot of wisdom to share, and it's going to be really fun. What if the one thing keeping you stuck is the way you think? Welcome to Change Your Mind with Kris Ashley, the podcast where science meets spirituality and mindset becomes your most powerful tool for transformation. I'm Kris Ashley, author of Change Your Mind to Change Your Reality, trainer, speaker, and lifelong seeker. For years, I battled trauma, depression, anger, chronic illness, low self-worth, and the weight of old stories. Until I discovered how to rewire my mind, reconnect with my divine nature, and consciously create a new reality from the inside out. This show is here to help you do the same. Each week, we explore the intersection of personal development, spirituality, and science, diving into topics like healing, emotional mastery, entrepreneurship, resilience, and the quantum nature of reality. You'll hear powerful stories, gain practical tools, and real conversations that will help you change your perspective, get unshakable confidence, and live the vision your soul has always known is possible. Whether you're navigating a major life shift, building your dream business, or seeking deep healing and alignment, you're in the right place. So if you're ready to break through, take back your power, and create a life on your terms, this is your moment. Let's break free from the patterns that hold us back, awaken to who we truly are, and rise. Your transformation starts now. A couple quick announcements first. Head over to the links in the show notes. You're going to find a lot there. You will find ways to connect with Missy, and I'm sure you're going to want to after this conversation. You'll find ways to connect with me. I have some really cool freebies in there. I have a quiz to help you find the limiting belief that's holding you back. And I also have this really cool new tool that I just launched on my website where you take 5 minutes to answer some questions, and then your future self is going to write you a letter from that place of having everything that you desire. So take those, let me know. They're still in beta, so let me know what you think. And then you'll find links to my other projects, my book, and all of that. And yeah, let's get started. So with me, I have Missy Camm, and I have to get used to saying that because, again, I've known Missy for so long. I'm like, have your maiden name in my head, but okay. Missy is a certified emotion code practitioner and founder of Release and Rise Wellness, where she helps clients release trapped emotions through remote sessions by phone, Zoom, and email. After discovering the emotion code more than a decade ago, Missy spent years practicing with friends, family, and animals before becoming certified and turning her longtime passion for emotional wellness into her profession. She is passionate about helping people gain greater self-awareness, emotional balance, and a renewed sense of possibility. Missy lives in Tucson, Arizona, and works with clients worldwide through her practice, Release and Rise Wellness. So welcome, Missy. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very happy to be talking with you.
I know, it's so wild. Like, I love that we both ended up, like, who knew in high school when we were like 15 that we were going to be having this conversation, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so I know you've listened to my podcast before. You know that the very first question, the only thing I ask everyone is what's their origin story? And I was just saying to you in the green room, I kind of know what the catapult for everything was, but I don't really know the story after that. And, please tell the whole story because, listeners don't know you like I do, but I'm really excited to just learn more about your journey too. So I'll hand the mic over to you.
Sure. So I've been into things like personal development, energy healing, things like that, like you have, for many years. And I had some depression and difficulty in high school. You might have remember that. But that sort of got me interested in my mind and how my mind affects, my experiences in life. And I learned, like, shortly after high school, I learned about The Secret. And that kind of made me realize that there's a real connection between our thoughts and feelings and what happens in our lives. And that sort of got me on that path. And then I've read a lot of books and really got into a lot of content on the mind-body connection and energy healing and personal growth over the years. And then, unfortunately, my twin brother, Matt, who was also good friends with Kris, passed away in 2017. And after that, I was reading a lot of material about emotional healing and grief. And that's actually when I discovered Dr. Riley Nelson's book, The Emotion Code. And I loved it because I was able to apply it to my life and my experiences more than just reading content. Like, I could actually use it and apply it and see results. And it definitely helped me feel lighter and deal with some of the things I was going through. And it's also given me the confidence to pursue things that are important to me. And I think that's why I've been able to be where I am now, because I've been able to apply everything I've learned and use tools like the Emotion Code to feel more connected to who I really am and get involved with doing this professionally.
Yeah. Yeah. It really sounds like we were on similar paths. I'm going to see if I can like upload a photo of us, because I think it's really kind of fun to see. Let's see if this is the right one. Okay. So that's not high school, but that's the last time I saw Matt. Do you remember that night?
Yeah, that was in Chicago. I remember. Yeah, you right? Because you weren't living in Chicago at the time.
Yeah, I can't remember if I was living there or not. But I think, yeah, maybe I was gone already, but it was like that rare time where we were all in town. And I remember we were at Rachel's and we stayed up till like 5 a.m. talking. And finally she was like, you guys, I have to go to bed. And like me and Matt stayed up, I think, the whole night.
Probably. That sounds about right.
Yeah. So that's our friend Rachel there. And then Matt, Missy's twin, and me and Missy. So she's a blondie, really.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I love what you said about the emotion code, because I like, just to reiterate what you said, like so many books will be like, you need to do this, or you need to let go of repressed emotions, or, you need to like, repressed emotions can make you sick, but you're like, okay, I get it. But like, how do I do that? Where it's like emotion codes, like, oh, here's like a process and you can literally like go do this right now. Like it's so much better with a practitioner, but you can like actually download the app and do it yourself, which is pretty
Anyone
cool.
can do it. Yeah.
So were you
practice.
Yeah, that's actually kind of what I was going to ask. Like, how was that? Like, did you try it right away and have some kind of like aha moment the first time, or were you like how did it go?
I did. So first you have to learn a little bit about muscle testing, because what you're doing is you're tapping into the subconscious mind, and you're able to ask like yes or no questions, or like true or false questions, and your body will kind of strengthen when something is true, and it'll weaken a little bit when something is false. So you basically go through this chart of emotions, and you can pinpoint which emotions your subconscious mind is ready to bring forward based on whatever focus you decide to choose. So my focus at the time was releasing trapped emotions related to my brother's death. And a lot of things came up around the time when, he had passed away, and it was just so accurate and specific. And it strengthened my belief in what I was doing, and being able to do the muscle testing, which I tried a couple different techniques. You can, use your hands, and you can use the tools and things like that. But I have a technique now that I use with my hands that is very reliable. So.
Okay. So one thing I loved about that with the muscle testing is like, I know there's like a million different ways you can muscle test, and like none of them have ever worked. But in his book, he's like, you can also do a sway test, and swaying works for me like that. And I'm sure you do this too. Like I have like all these like supplements in a cabinet, and each morning I'll like hold it and like sway test which one. And Shane's like, "Oh my God, you're driving me crazy." Like he's like,
That is
"Okay, you
one
took like
way.
14 today and like none to," you know what I mean? Do you do that
That
too?
is,
You
that is
sway
one way to use it. Absolutely. It's actually one of the more well-known ways that people use muscle testing is like whether something's good for us or not. Um,
really?
but the sway test was what I used first. That was
Okay.
the first method I used. And it takes a lot of time because you have to stand still and wait for your body to either
Yeah.
fall backward or fall forward.
Yeah.
You know, falling backward. And yeah, it's just, it takes a little more time, but
Yeah.
it does work.
What do you use now? What's the hand one that you use?
So I make a loop with my fingers on my right hand, and then I use a finger on my left hand, and I go like this.
Yeah.
So like I'll say, "My name is Missy," and I get a yes, and I say, "My name is Kris," and the circle breaks, and that means it's a no.
Okay, my name's Missy. Yeah, okay. It works there, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm like, I like don't believe it when I do it. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
does take some practice, and you have to learn to kind of trust what you're getting. And right now, I can sometimes know whether something's a yes before I even do it. Like I'll
Okay.
just know in my body that it's a yes, and then I'll confirm it with the test.
Yeah. Does that happen when you're reading other people's or doing emotion codes for other people?
Does
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 like
what?
your intuition kick in before like
Yeah,
you
so
actually
I like to, instead of identifying as like a healer, I consider myself more of a facilitator. So I'm actually facilitating someone else's healing process. So the healing is really coming from within the client. So I just facilitate the process, and it does help to use my intuition to guide a session. But really, your subconscious mind takes the reins and decides which trapped emotions are ready to be released. So, and it's whatever, whatever you're ready for. So,
Yeah. That's so it's so cool. Like it's like we've have these built-in little ways to connect with the deeper parts of ourselves, like as
Mhm.
part of these avatars in this lifetime. It's like these little like cheat codes written in or something. I don't know, it's really fun.
Mhm.
Um, so how was like the spirituality journey for you? Like I guess like where have you landed spiritually right now? Like what is it that you believe in like as the greater power or like what is it that you're tapping into? Because I know the reason I ask is I know Dr. Bradley asks for I don't know how he says it, just like a higher power or God
Mhm.
to like assist him. And I know that that's kind of part of it. So I'm just so curious.
Yeah,
And how
so
did that evolve for you too?
so I do ask for, help from guidance from God or the divine creator of all that is. I use that language kind of interchangeably. And then sometimes I'll call on the angels. I do believe in angels, and I believe they're here to help. And we have to ask, for their assistance in order for them to be able to, you know, help us. So sometimes I'll do that before a session. I'll kind of check in and make sure my muscle testing is accurate, and touch into a higher power. And I do believe in a higher power, and I do believe that but there's a very thin veil between this reality and on the other side. And everyone that we've known and loved that's over there is a part of our lives today. And we can call on them for help and guidance. And that was definitely a part of my journey, was getting more in touch with my spirituality and how I see the world and experience, and past experience, how it affects us today.
How did you always like believe in that? Because I don't remember having, I mean, I definitely didn't in high school. So I didn't have those kind of conversations until I was like maybe like 18. Um, or did it kind of evolve after you read The Secret or after Matt, or like how did that happen?
So I've always asked really big questions about life, and that's something I've always loved learning. So
Yeah.
I wasn't raised in the church or with any spiritual belief, or there were things like treat others how you want to be treated, and the golden rule and things like that I was
Yeah.
taught, and how to be a good person and have good morals. But I always wondered more about religion and spirituality and the big questions. So that was always in my mind. But then it was around the same age as you were, about 18 or 19, that I really started like looking more deeply into it. And I read The Power of Now, and that was a big big one for me. It helped me deal with my emotional suffering, like staying in the present moment. So,
which book had the most impact on you, do you think, in your journey? I mean, besides the emotion code, I guess, because obviously that's the answer. But
have you ever read The Master Key System by Charles?
no.
So it's basically a book about the law of attraction, but it definitely goes into, you know, our mind and how it shapes our reality. So you would love it. It's
Okay,
really,
the master.
it's a really old book, but it's got so much wisdom in it.
Okay, how do you spell it? Master
So,
what?
The Master Key System.
Key, like Key?
Yes.
That sounds vaguely familiar, but I definitely haven't read it. Okay, I'm excited. I love hearing about new stuff to read. Okay, I'm gonna read it. That's really cool. I was right before this, I was getting ready and I'm listening to the audio version of Marcy Shimoff's book, Happy for No Reason. Again, I have a call with her and I was like, oh, I should probably listen to her book again. And right before we jumped on, she was okay. I wrote down the quote. So she was talking similar to like how Masaru Emoto did like the water drops with everything with the words. But this was a scientific experiment done where they were doing it with like seedlings and prayers only. And she said the prayers that have the strongest effect are when you invite the presence and influence of a higher power rather than ask for a specific outcome. And it totally made me think of emotion code because it's just like inviting that, like I kind of just got goosebumps reading that. Like it just kind of invites help, not necessarily being like, this is what I need help with. And I thought that was really interesting.
I love that.
Yeah, I know. It was like really timely. Okay, so you were talking about angels. Like, what are angels? Like, talk to me about what are they? Where are they? Yeah.
They're basically beings of love and light, you know, and they've never incarnated as humans on Earth.
Okay.
They've been like in heaven or on the other side, and they're closer to source energy, the divine creator of all that is, or God, you know, than we are in human form. So they have access to all kinds of knowledge and information to help us with things, and they're here to help. So that's their main role, I think.
That's really cool.
We all have angels, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot about like spirit guides. Like when I'm asking for any kind of assistance, I'm like asking my higher self and my spirit guides. And I guess like guardian angels is kind of another thing I say, but like are those interchangeable, do you think, spirit guides and guardian angels, or are they like two different tiers?
So what I've come to understand is that spirit guides often have incarnated on Earth, and maybe a long time ago, or maybe someone like Matt could be a guide for me now, for example.
Yeah.
And they're able to help us in a lot of different ways as well. So you could basically call on either your spirit guides or your angels for help, or both. A lot of times when I'm falling asleep at night, I'll ask the angels and my spirit guides, you know, for help. Help me sleep well tonight. Help me process everything I've experienced throughout the day. Help me have a great day tomorrow. Let me, you know, deal with negative experiences, you know, easily and quickly. Let me bounce back from any setbacks, and just things like that.
That's awesome. Have you had any after-death communication with Matt?
So I talk to mediums. I talk to mediums after he passed, and then I do it now like a few times a year. So I have a one that I really trust right now. Her name is Denise, and she's been really supportive and rooting me on with my wellness practice. And she's become much more than just a medium. She's also like a counselor and a mentor, and someone who helps guide me. And she's really has this gift, and she's in touch with the other side and my loved ones. And she's come to know my grandmother and my brother, and even Tilly. She met Tilly, you know, through our video calls, like before Tilly passed away, and then now. Yeah. On the other side, she gives me messages from Tilly, and she validates everything. So it's very clear to me that it's truthful to me.
Yeah, totally. Mediums are so incredible. I've talked to quite a few just like through interviews, and I never know how to like, it's just hard to like find the right one, right? Because it's like, I don't know, there's so many scam artists, but then there's people who have like incredible gifts. Like
Yeah. You
they're
have to
so
find the right
real.
one.
Yeah.
You know, I think you'll know.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, Tilly is Missy's dog. We both grew up, well, we were in high school. I remember you had
Doodle
Rachel
and
had
Dandy.
Bailey. You had Doodle and Dandy, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had Frosty. So we all had like little white fluffy dogs.
Mhm.
And then we kept the tradition going. Missy had Tilly and I had Soda Pop.
Mhm.
Now I have like a 50-pound golden doodle. I don't know what I'm doing
It's still a
with.
doodle, but I mean, it's a doodle, so yeah.
Yeah, I know. Shane was like, I can't get another. He was like too heartbroken. He like couldn't get another one that looks like that. But I really miss having a small dog. That's really cool. So does Matt or Tilly or anyone visit you in dreams ever? Like, do you have any kind of
Yes.
communication like that?
That's crazy. Like, I feel like just this whole experience that we're having right now just feels very synchronistic to me. And I just had a dream like 2 nights ago. Matt was in the dream. It was a little bit of a sad dream, but someone was talking about all their memories that they had with him, and it always makes me smile to hear other people's memories of him.
Yeah.
So it touched my heart, but I actually woke up with tears
Aw.
down my face. But it
Yeah.
felt like a visitation in a sense. Like it felt like he was saying hello, and it also felt like because I'm starting something new, like support.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
You're so right. It's like dreams are so cool. Like, I really do think there's different kinds. Like, there's visitation ones for sure. Like, I've had those with my dad where we're just hanging out and it's a normal dream, and then I turn to him and I'm like, I miss you so much, and he's like, I know, but I'm always around. Like, we'll like have those real conversations. But then there's dreams where I swear to God, it's like, I don't know, tell me if you have these where it's like you're watching a whole movie unfold. Like, there's a beginning, middle, and end, and it's almost like, I think it's kind of looking into like a parallel timeline of like another life you're living, and yeah, like dreams are just incredible.
Yeah,
It's
it's very possible. And that's dreams are of the subconscious mind. So it relates back to what we were talking about with the emotion code. Our subconscious communicates with us through our subconscious mind.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, through our dreams.
yeah, totally. It's still like, it still blows my mind that like more people don't question it. We literally like turn off for like a third of our life, and like we like shut down, and like we have to go back to source energy, right? And other planes, and like get downloads and reconnect with our higher self, and like we literally can't function without doing that. And people are like, oh, it's just like a normal part of it.
Why people will go insane if they don't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think that's because they're so untethered from source energy?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about like how doing emotion code has been for like on other people for you.
Uh-huh.
How was it the first time? Were you like nervous? Did it feel right? Like, did the answers come right away?
So, and after 2017, which is when I, read the book and started using it on myself and some of my friends. I was living in California at the time, and it was fun. And the people that I did it for were like surprisingly pretty open to it. You're always a little like nervous, like is this person gonna, what are they gonna think? And
Yeah.
the few friends that I tried it on really liked it. They especially liked that we could identify like what age a certain emotion became trapped, because that helps paint a picture of what might have been going on in their life when that happened. And it made me really become even more compassionate towards other people, because you never really know what someone's carrying, from
Yeah.
a long time ago, and they don't even know it sometimes. So it was very interesting. But I've been doing it now for like 9 years. I just recently became certified, and I had to work on a lot of people for the certification. So 10 different people, a follow-up session and a regular session, and then also 5 heart wall sessions. And 5 animals. So it's been very interesting getting to work on so many people. So.
Yeah, cool. There's a lot there that I want to ask you about, so I'm glad you said all that. But first, I just want to kind of like underline what you said. You never know what other people are going through. And it's just wild. Like everyone has a story that they're carrying around, like literally everyone. And usually when people like lash out at you, it's because they're really going through a hard time themselves, right? Having kids really did that for me. Like made me look at people differently. It's like, oh, everyone was just like a baby once. Like, isn't that crazy? Like we were all just this little thing that was like fresh from the universe. And I don't know. It's just wild. Like, have you ever held a newborn? Like their eyes are so trippy. It's like looking like into infinity. It's so crazy before they're like locked into this world officially. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Definitely. There's that fresh energy with a newborn that, is so incredible.
Their eyes are so cool too. It's like they don't have like the different coloration or patterns yet. It's just they're like just deep and endless, and it's so humbling. Like I don't know. They say like the miracle of life and you don't really think about it, and then you're like, where did this come from? Like it's just here, and my body was this vessel, and it's just the soul is in this body now, and it's just here. And that's like literally where we all started. It's just I don't know.
That's what I believe as well. I believe that's how it all started.
It's just crazy. Okay, so maybe tell people what a heart wall is in case they aren't familiar with emotion code, because that's
sure. So the heart wall is definitely an emotion code concept. It's actually been trademarked, which is kind of funny, but it's basically your subconscious mind starts like, depending on, so younger people don't usually have a heart wall. It like takes a little time, like life experience to start to develop one, but it's basically trapped emotions that your subconscious mind places around your heart that helps protect you after challenging or traumatic or difficult experiences. But over time, it can, it's not always a positive thing. It can prevent you from feeling really connected with others. It can affect your love life and whether you can attract a healthy relationship into your life. It can help, it can affect your self-esteem. So clearing the heart wall, you just clear one trapped emotion at a time. And you can do like around 8 to 12 per session. And sometimes it takes like 4 or 5 sessions, to completely release a heart wall, depending on how many trapped emotions are there. So it varies from person to person.
So when someone's creating, or someone's subconscious is creating a heart wall, is it literally like one emotion at a time, or is it like they go through something so traumatic that your body kind of recruits like any trapped emotions to that area?
So it does happen one at a time, but you can find clusters from like specific events that, for example, just like a traumatic or challenging event, and you might have 5 from that like one experience that your subconscious mind places around your heart. So it does vary, but generally speaking, it's usually one at a time.
Yeah. Is there like someone that you've worked on that has had like some sort of crazy, profound like recovery story or healing that you could share? And you don't have to like say names or anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I actually released my dad's heart wall. And the interesting thing about that is my dad today's actually his 79th birthday. So he's had quite a few decades of experiences that have started to collect around his heart. So he had some from, some experiences in high school where he was picked on and made fun of and was in a new school and felt awkward. So that was something that came up. And then with a lot of transitions, he had a lot of trapped emotions from various transitions in his life, and loss was a big theme. So my mom unfortunately had a stillborn baby before my brother and I were born. And my dad had a whole session worth of trapped emotions just from that experience around.
That's so heartbreaking.
And he also had, from my brother, older brother was born premature, and he was like very premature and was in the NICU for a long time. And my dad had a lot of trapped emotions from that time as well that came up, and also my brother. So we released all of that. And my dad said he felt lighter and more connected and just felt better in his skin, I think, after we did all those releases.
That's so amazing. You're like making me tear up. Like that's just so devastating. Like as a parent, like my kid was in the NICU for 10 days. I can't imagine like longer than that. And I can't imagine a stillborn and like losing your son the way that like it's just like very, very sad. That's amazing. What a gift that you were able to help him through that.
Well, it was a gift to me that he was so open to it.
Yeah. Yeah. How are your parents like very supportive of it?
So I wasn't sure, what they would think. It's not really a side of myself that I share with my family that often. They do know I'm interested in spirituality and things like that, but you probably know that sometimes there's some people are interested in that and some people aren't. So, but they knew I was interested in that kind of thing, and I talked to Denise, my medium, and things like that. And they're supportive of that. And then when I told them that I was going to be doing this and I wanted to pursue this, they were actually very supportive.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, totally. And it's always like weird with family. Like sometimes family just like doesn't get it at all. It's like, what? Like, I don't know. Okay, I want to hear about animals because that's really cool that you do it on animals. And I think one thing that's really awesome about working with animals is like they're not going to fake anything for you, right? They're like, you're going to either see your results or you're not. And I've actually I did a Reiki session on Soda once and had a crazy result. And I did a emotion code session actually on my cat and had a crazy result. And it's like, that's proof that it works because your pet that was limping is not going to like suddenly stop limping just to like appease you, right? Like they don't know. So I would love to hear about your journey with animals too, because I know you're an animal lover.
Yes, and I love working with animals. I've definitely worked more with people than animals, but I do love my sessions with animals because animals, they take to healing so naturally and they process very quickly, and it's amazing that they can get some amazing results. So I've worked on rescue dogs. That's a big one. Any dog that's spent any time in a shelter usually has a lot of trapped emotions. So, and it's things like abandonment, rejection, grief, sadness, anxiety, things like that. And emotional experiences can affect animals in a very similar way that they affect us. So it can affect you, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So it's been amazing to work with animals.
That's so sad. Like, I don't know, just thinking about like any shelter dog feeling that. It's like very sad. Oh my God, I should connect you with my mom. She has like a rescue dog that he's like a little schnoodle and he has like attacked like 7 people. Like he's got like a lot of issues.
Well, sometimes you'll notice behavioral changes when you release trapped emotions, because it's in their subconscious mind as well. So it affects their behaviors and their habits and things. And, can't make any promises, but I've definitely seen results, and I've heard a lot of positive feedback from pet owners that I've worked with. So
yeah. And I guess I should give you like a little review on here too. Missy, I'm so glad I remembered to do this because I didn't have it in my notes. Missy did a bunch of sessions on me recently, and one of the things I was like, I'm 6 months postpartum with my second baby, and the first one, like the weight came off like that, and the second one, it is like it wasn't until I talked to you coming off at all, like 5.5 months, and it was like literally the scale hasn't moved. And like as someone who's been like thin and like very active my whole life, like that's like it's very shocking, right? To like have your body change like that and not go back. So Missy did some sessions. She did a bunch of sessions on different things. But that one specifically, I think like a week later I got on the scale and I had dropped 6 pounds in a week. So it was like pretty wild.
So, and I think so your focus for that session was to release trapped emotions that for postpartum, various postpartum symptoms, and also just holding on to baby weight. There's often an emotional connection to that. So, and I've personally never been a mother, so I don't know what it's like to go your body to go through those changes. But releasing trapped emotions can be one way to help you achieve more balance, like greater balance.
Yeah, totally. And I'm trying to remember, you did so many, and oh my God. And Missy also did some on my baby too, by the way. And did you do some on Jax too? Yeah, you did on Jax
Yes.
too. So she did on both my babies. Um, one had a really traumatic birth and was in the NICU. The other you did it on Jax because he's been picking on his little brother a lot, which is starting to get a little bit better. So, yeah, and it's just been really great because Casey specifically, like, I don't know, it was so sad to read all of the notes. I guess I should say this about you, that I've gotten other body code sessions and emotion code sessions, and no one's ever done this before. Missy sends you this incredible email after where she not only like lists the emotions, but writes this like in-depth paragraph about each, and then gives you all these beautiful affirmations and like words of encouragement, and it's like really beautiful and kind of emotional to read. But I was like sobbing reading the ones about my baby, like I don't know, just it's hard for like to see like anyone you love go through things, right? Especially like a baby who's like, just so innocent and kind of helpless. But yeah, the weight one like it just blew my mind. Like I was like 6 pounds in a week is pretty substantial. So yeah. So Missy knows what she's doing. Is there anything else like emotion code related or your story that you were like really hoping to touch on today? Because I want to make sure that we like touch on everything that's important to you too.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite things about the emotion code is that it's not necessary to relive painful or traumatic experiences for the healing to take place. We just tap into your subconscious mind, determine which trapped emotions are ready to be released. And it's really up to you as a client to decide how much you want to talk about it. If you want to talk about it, you can. And if you rather just acknowledge the trapped emotion and moved on, we can do that as well. And it works differently than talk therapy in that way. It kind of gets to the root of the concern. And things can happen very quickly, such as the weight loss you experience, and some things happen more gradually over time. But I do feel a lot of compassion for people and it allows people to look at themselves with more compassion, which is something I really like.
Yeah. Yeah. And like as someone receiving it, like you feel things in your body happening. Like you might feel like tingles or like yawn or need to stretch, or like my eyes water so much. So it's like, something's happening. And one thing I like about how you do it, it's like you can be present and be on the phone or be on a Zoom, but you're also like, I can just work on you while you're like busy with your kids or whatever, it's like
email. I can do email sessions as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so nice. And I just wanted to, I was thinking about this conversation that we were going to have, and just thinking about you, and you in high school, and this memory stood out, and you probably don't even remember it, but we had this other friend, Riley. We were kind of just like part of this little girl crew, right? That like hung out in high school and did a lot of things we shouldn't have been doing, right? We were a little bit rebellious, but I remember you telling me one day, you're like, yeah, I asked Riley like what her story is, because I realized we've been friends for like 3 years and I've never actually asked her. And like she kind of like just poured out her like difficult home life to you. And I remember like that stuck with me so much, because I remember being like, wow, I didn't think to do that. And not in like a jealous way, in like a really impressed way. Like, wow, Missy's like really compassionate and has a really big heart, and like really saw Riley and like thought to do that, like, so, you've always had like a really big caring heart, and you've always been like such an animal lover too.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I used to have my grandma that lived with us, right? And she was deaf. She was a trip. And you would like come over and just want to hang out with her and sit with her, and she would like tell you stories and stuff. And,
Yeah, she was a lot of fun.
yeah.
She loved watching Texas Ranger.
Yeah. She would watch it in like Spanish too, and top volume because she didn't know it was in Spanish.
You had to yell at her because she couldn't hear very well, but
yeah, we would like literally be screaming. Yeah. But no, you've always had like such a big heart, and it feels really fitting that you're doing this work. So I'm really excited for you.
Well, healing to me is not about becoming like a entirely new person. It's really about becoming more of who you truly are. And I feel like that I've healed and I'm still healing as I'm helping others heal. And it's allowed me to be more of who I truly am. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah. So I know like when you're doing Reiki on someone, I've done like my first thing of Reiki, and I literally just do it on like friends or like my animals. Like I'm not a practitioner by any means, but I know part of that is like when it comes through you, it heals you too. Like is emotion code similar like that?
It's probably a little more like that with Reiki, I think. But I do get really inspired by the healing that takes place, and I do feel a little lighter myself after a session. I think there's something to that.
Yeah. Do you ever get sessions done by other people now, or do you just do them on yourself?
So I just do them on myself, but I'll do. The really cool thing about the emotion code is it can be applied to so many different things and so many different aspects of your life. And I'll even do like, I'd like to release trapped emotions that will make me, more confident in doing this work. And I'll release, 10 trapped emotions and it'll be like from when I was 8 years old and I had low self-esteem.
You froze a little bit. Are you still there? Oh, there you are. Yeah, I know like one thing people will do is like, I want more abundance or stuff like that, right?
You can use it for that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. And I know our other friend used it for breastfeeding. Like there's so much you can do it with. Awesome. So, do you have any kind of, you just gathered so much wisdom over the years. Like if you could give one message to the world, what would you want it to be?
It would be that everyone has dealt with challenging and difficult experiences, but it doesn't have to define you. That's the message that I really want people to have. It doesn't have to define you, and you can move forward regardless of what has happened.
Yeah. I love that. That's so powerful. And I'm sure there's a lot of people listening right now that need to hear that too. Awesome. Well, it has been such a pleasure to have you on. It's just really fun to watch your journey, and I don't know. It's always weird when someone knows you from back in the day, because we were both such different people in high school, right?
Yeah, a lot of transformation has occurred. So.
Yeah, but it's just really fun to see where you've ended up and where you're going. And I love your company name, and I'm just rooting you on, and I'm so excited for you.
Thank you so much. And I've had so much fun watching your career, and actually your books and your podcasts and things like that have helped me so much in my own self-development and learning and things like that. So I'm really excited to see which direction you go as well.
Thanks for saying that. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I think if we can just even help like a couple people with what we're doing, then I don't know, the older I get, the more I feel like that's what life's about, right? Like making it a little easier on other people or helping other people a little bit more. Well, I'm sure people want to know where they can find you, how they can connect with you, how they can work with you. So if you want to take a little bit of time and just give yourself a little plug.
Sure. So if you'd like to learn more about the emotion code or about me, my website is releaseandrisewellness.com. You can also book a session if you would like. I do email, Zoom, or phone sessions. You don't have to be present, so that's the nice thing about the emotion code. It's all done remotely. You can be anywhere in the world. And my Instagram I just launched my Instagram, so it's very new, but it's Release and Rise Wellness on Instagram.
Awesome. And as you were talking, it might be good too to let people know who haven't done this before or heard about it. Like, are they going to have some big emotional release? Like, what can they expect like during the actual session?
So it varies from person to person what you actually experience during a session. Like you, from your experience, it sounds like you felt a lot of physical sensations and things like that. But mostly it's there's a processing period that happens afterwards. So some people are a little more tired than normal, which kind of does show that something is going on. So something is happening beneath the surface. And emotions might come up, and you might have more vivid dreams. It's pretty subtle, and usually within a couple days, you'll actually start feeling lighter and better, which is one of the major benefits. But sometimes I recommend like at least 24 hours between sessions, or even a few days. Some people need even longer to process what comes up, but it really depends on the person.
Yeah, that's so important because I don't want anyone to be like, "Oh, I'm like scared of it because I don't want to have this big emotional release," right?
Oh
Or maybe
no,
they're
it's
like
pretty
hoping, but
subtle.
yeah. Um, okay, one last question, and then I know we kind of like wrapped up already. So I was getting body code sessions with another woman, but I'm obviously like going to you now. Um, but she was always like, drink a lot of water after.
Oh
Like, why are
yes.
we drinking a lot of water?
Yes, actually, it's really important for to drink a lot of water because that just helps. Because you basically your body's like shifting a little bit. Your energy field is shifting a little bit, and it helps. Helps the processing take place. And I do recommend drinking a lot of water. And actually, as a practitioner, it's really important that I stay hydrated because my muscle testing is more accurate if I'm well hydrated.
Very cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. Have you ever, if you were ever to give someone a session in person, I know that's not your thing right now, but like, have you muscle tested other people or would you muscle
Yes,
test
so
yourself?
there's the arm test. So
Yeah.
the subject will put their arm out, and I'll apply pressure to their arm. So if I'm asking a yes or no question, it'll usually say pretty firm when it's a yes, and it'll be weaker when it's a no. So that's the main way I think in person sessions take place.
Very
And
cool.
it can be a little tiring for the person to hold their arm up for that long.
Yeah.
So that's another benefit of doing a remote
Yeah.
session.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Missy. It's been so fun to just connect with you in this different kind of way after so long. And I'm just very proud of you and very excited for you. And yeah, everyone, if you're curious, check out Missy's work. Go follow her on Instagram, book a session, give it a try. It's so powerful. And one of the things she said to me recently is like, once you release these emotions, like they don't come back, like they're gone. You're not carrying them anymore. So it's really powerful. And kind of like we touched on today, like everyone has stuff that they store, right? Because no
Emotional
one kind of
baggage.
yeah, like no one
That's
gets through
what
this
everyone
life
else
unscathed. Yeah, even if it's not some big, like huge trauma, like we all
does.
go through stuff. So, yeah, check her out. Link is in the show notes as well if you didn't get a chance to write it down. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.